Will be transcribed, so please wait for a mic before you ask a question, and we'll bring one to you. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions for Garrison, and then we'll take questions for Coach. So Coach, give us your thoughts on this morning's game.
It's a really tough victory. I mean, we had a really tough stretch in there when B-Rob missed some free throws, Garrison missed some free throws, and really gonna get on those guys over break to at least do cardio and really shoot free throws to focus. And I need those guys to be mentally tough, especially down the conference stretch on the road.
Nice holiday trick here you're playing on us.
No, it's got his name, Roy Williams. I'd rather be Garrison Brooks. I'm starting this season at 69. I'm going to freaking finish at 79. And I'm sorry that Anthony can't be in there, but seriously, he's got the quickest flight trying to get out, so I'll brag on him as well. I told the guys all season long, if you want to play more, play better. If you want to play more, be tougher. And I think Anthony gave us some of that toughness. And I'm not saying he's a great shooter, but he willed a couple of those shots in today. Got a couple of steals and goes down and makes the basket. So I think he was probably the biggest story in the game for us. We came out, didn't play well early, and right before the half had a nice little run, and then we came out in the second half and just got dumb again. And yes, Garrison Brooks missed 2 free throws in that stretch, but they made the first missed 3. Coach Williams said he missed 3. I thought he just missed 2, but we weathered that storm, and then we made a little run, and then after that we got the game where it should have been in pretty good shape, and B-Rob made a terrible turnover on break, and then Jeremiah, I can't even describe what the crap he tried to do with that shot, but Garrison told me later that he would tell me what his description was, but made enough free throws to win. We didn't shoot them nearly as well as we like to. Jeremiah stepped up and made several of them there, but 5 guys in double figures. Armando bounced back from really struggling the last 2 games. He was 3 for 20 the last 2 games, excuse me. And he and Garrison both made big baskets for us when it was really a tight game, and it helped us open up the lead.
We're also now joined by Jeremiah Francis. So let's take questions for the players first, and then we'll let them get back to their team. In the front row, Andrew Jones, please.
Garrison, what kind of energy and toughness does Anthony give you guys, and also Jeremiah with the way he's played the last couple of games? That kind of makes you guys a little bit different than maybe you were before they started getting a lot of minutes.
He's a tough guy. He works extremely hard, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in the weight room myself. But he has like a Kenny Williams effect. Just a real tough on defense, gonna do everything coach says, and just gets the job done no matter what.
Other questions for the players? Front row on the left side. We've got a mic for you.
Hey, Jeremiah, congratulations. When you first got to UNC, what was sort of your expectation for how this year was going to go, and how is it sort of being reshaped, or if it's following the plan game by game sort of?
I came to UNC a little bit out of shape, so I just wanted to get myself back into playing shape with our strength and conditioning coach Jonas, and I've been working hard in the weight room, just trying to get my quads stronger, and just listening to the coach, and it's been a blessing.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
Did you expect that you'd be playing this many minutes already?
No, I haven't. I was just being ready whenever my name was called, and just doing my job to the best of the ability.
To the left, front row again.
Jeremiah, Anthony also had some knee injuries that kept him sidelined this offseason. Just with you guys working out together and rehabbing together, what kind of bond that allow you to kind of form, and how did that help with kind of the toughness that you guys have been showing?
Anthony's my roommate, so I talk to him every day, and just waking up at 6:30 a.m. going to the weight room with Jonas, and everything makes a bond, and we just talk. So we've just been working out together and made a good bond.
I would intersect something here, and then you go back to the players. I'm in the weight room Monday, Wednesday. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm in the weight room Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and these guys were in there when I got there. Tyler Hansbrough has always been the model of guys working extremely hard to make their body the best body can be. What Jeremiah Francis and Anthony Harris have done since they came to school in end of June for second session summer school is Tyler Hansbrough-like level. Jonas was so pleased. He pushed them. Doug pushed them. I would go to the weight room, yes, to try to work out myself, but I'd find myself watching all the things these guys did as freshmen coming in and putting in that work was admirable. It was a high quality every single day, They didn't balk at anything, and Doug and Jonas put them through it, and I think what you're seeing now is the rewards for what they did, busting their butt.
We'll go to Ben on the left side, and then his neighbor.
What was UCLA early in the second half, obviously, was doing some pressure in the backcourt. What was it about that gave you guys trouble, and how were you able to kind of get around that the rest of the game?
I think it took us by surprise, especially on the court at the moment, but we really just had to get settled down and get organized and just do what we practice every day, and it eventually worked out for us.
Thanks, Garrison. Anything to add, Jeremiah?
No.
Garrison, had you seen this potential early on from Jeremiah and Anthony, and if you had, how anxious were you for them to come back?
So the thing is, like, I saw Jeremiah play a long time ago before when he committed. He came on a visit. I knew he was really talented, really could play, really could score the ball. I was kind of hoping he would be able to play this year, but before the year started, I was hoping he could really play, and he's getting the opportunity now. He's making the best of it. And Anthony is a real surprise for me. I never seen him play. I heard about him a little bit, but I didn't know he could be this special right now.
You guys understand, they only started practicing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so
I mean, seriously, they started doing full practices 2 weeks ago. So not that he's a bad evaluator of talent, but none of us had it.
But like, it's pretty. I was pretty excited to get those guys back out there. Especially I can see how excited Jeremiah and Anthony were in practice because they worked so hard, and they were just energetic all the time, ready to play, did whatever coach told them to do full speed. And I think that right there will help our team so much. We really needed that.
Front row again.
Jeremiah, can you just sort of walk us through some, like, we hear about all this hard work. Can you walk us through what some of that looks like? Like, what is it exactly that you're doing to try and get your body back into shape?
Something that none of you guys could do.
Just trying to get my quad back to my right quad. Just trying to match everything to my right side. I've been through a lot of stuff with my left leg, so just trying to get everything to match and everything symmetry. And it's just matching everything.
I'm gonna go to the right side here.
For Garrison, how does this win feel? Is it a relief? Is it excitement? Like how does this win kind of feel for you guys?
It's very exciting because it was a tough stretch for us, and we didn't plan on this at all. Just losing 4 straight games, but it's not a sigh of relief. We got ACC play coming up, so that's going to be even tougher, and we got to be prepared for that also. But it's a good sign we got back on the right track.
Sorry, for Jeremiah, do you feel the pressure of trying to fill in for Cole and trying to carry the team right now?
I wouldn't call it pressure. It's just next man up. That's what I've always been taught. Just next man up, and I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability.
We'll go to Andrew next.
Garrison, a little bit like what he just asked. Last Sunday after Wofford, that's about as disappointed as I've seen you other than after NCAA tournament losses. How different is the emotion now, or do you allow yourself to kind of enjoy this other than just the building process?
The good part is I get to go home, so I'm enjoying it a little bit more. But normally the time taken for enjoying is 24 hours and you move on to the next game. But the Wofford loss was really disappointing. I try not to get so down on our team and down on myself, especially by losing, because that's what I think that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Any final questions for the players? All right, we'll let them get back to their team. Happy holidays, guys.
You want to take mine? Play better, I'll give it to you.
2015, I got you.
Oh gosh, guys, it's been frustrating to say the least. At the start of the season, we think that Sterling and Cole are going to be 2 guys in the top 6, and they're not even here today, much less hurt, they're not even here. So that part's been frustrating, but those are also excuses. North Carolina still plays. And it's funny because it's a really young team. For a good portion of the second half, we had Armando, Anthony, and Jeremiah in the game, so we got 3 freshmen, with B-Rob and Garrison. And over on the sideline, I had Luke and Kenny. For a while, I had Sam Perkins. David Noel would have been a lot better with those guys in the game. But, it's frustrating because Garrison said it surprised him. We worked on press offense yesterday. Now, it may look like it surprised. It didn't surprise us. It just that we didn't do a good job of executing what we do. Very few teams in the past have pressed us. I think now every team in America that we play will press the crap out of us. But the older guys are the ones that made a mistake. I mean, don't throw the ball in and then I'm yelling at Leaky to go up, and he goes all the way up and he's in the corner and he gets trapped and we turn it over. So yes, it may have surprised Garrison, but just 24 hours ago we did work on press offense. But they needed to get something out of their defense, and they did. But I think they made their first 3 or 4 shots in the second half, and we missed the first 5, I think.
We'll start on the right side.
Coach, early in the second half, you took 2 timeouts during that rough start. What was your message to the team during that time?
It's not for public knowledge, but it wasn't very pleasant because I didn't think we were competing. I asked them if they wanted me to go get their mama. I mean, come on, guys, Jesus Christ. It's a basketball game. Compete your butt off and play. Nobody's going to be killed, and I hope, and if anybody dies, it's probably going to be me. But you got to compete, and I didn't think we were competing. Again, we worked on press offense yesterday, plus many times prior to that. And then we got them to miss one time, and they got an offensive rebound and scored anyway. I think the first 4 or 5 possessions, they scored every time. So it was all about competing. But, a lot of teams, most of the teams I've had, I never worry because I think they can fight through those kind of things. But at that moment, I couldn't stand not saying something to them.
Coach, Armando had 3 baskets in the last 2 games and had the foul issues the other night. How much of what we saw today is part of the growing process for a young guy, just having to play the minutes he is with the responsibility he has here?
Well, it's big because we need the inside guys to score. We're trying to throw the ball to them. We need them to come through, and going 3 for 20 hurts you. Hurts your team. So he's been taking it very hard. I thought he bounced back today. Did some. He didn't play well. He had 15 and 12. That's pretty doggone good. That's what I told him in the locker room. No, I wasn't happy with your play, but you had 12 and 15. And went over and I kissed Anthony on top of the head, because he played today. Armando did some good things to help us. We didn't shoot a very good percentage from free throw line. Jeremiah stepped up, and we made some when it was tough. But at the end, it was just a finish. But no, it's hard for a freshman in North Carolina because everybody expects you to win every game, and you start feeling that stress if you don't do it. And I tell them, just do the best you can do. Just do what I ask you to do, and then use your work.
Left side, front row.
Just because Virginia wins a national championship, I got to look at a Virginia shirt in the back of the freaking room. Jesus Christ.
Roy, Mike Brown likes to tell us that the bench is the great motivator. You've dealt with a ton of injuries this year. You still have some with Cole and Sterling, but with Jeremiah and Anthony coming back able to play, I know they played the majority of the minutes in the second half. Is that a good thing for this team to have that kind of competition?
We'll find out. I pointed at 3 or 4 guys in the locker room. I said, "You want to play? You didn't play much the second half. You want to play better." Anthony didn't ask me one time about, am I going to get to play? Didn't ask me one question about playing time. The only thing he did is when I gave him a chance, he played his butt off. It's pretty simple. Head coaches have no favorites. Now, parents don't believe that, but head coaches have no favorite. I'm going to play the guy that I think helps me win. And there's some guys that have gotten to play in the past, and I didn't like what they did in the first half. So it's pretty simple. If you want to play more, play better.
Front row again.
Sort of on that same note, how surprised are you that this early on, you mentioned they only started playing 2 weeks ago, that Jeremiah and Anthony are doing that? What were your, coming into the season, what was sort of the time label you had in your head for that?
Well, I try to never decide who's going to play how many minutes. I've never done that. But I was worried whether or not Jeremiah would. Guys, did you read Steve Kirshner's notes? You should. 1,000 days between the last basketball game that Jeremiah Francis played in until the Virginia game. 1,000 days. So what do you think? I think he's going to go out there and get 35 in the first game? We have no idea. We're hoping. But every day in the weight room I saw him, I'm more encouraged. Every day in the weight room I saw Anthony's toughness. And so really, I'm not lying. It's been about 2 weeks is all it's been of full court practices. So on one hand, I'm stunned. But on another hand, I don't really think about those. Just do your job. I've always thought the grass was greener where I was standing, so do your job. And the next day, maybe you'll get something good happen. Do your job that day, and the next day, some good things. But both those guys have been as impressive as they could possibly be in the weight room.
Roy, Jeremiah talks about how appreciative he is that you took a chance on him despite the 2 knee injuries. So what gave you confidence? What made you take that chance?
It was an easy decision because I love him as a kid. He committed to us as a sophomore, and when you commit to me, that's a total commitment, and I do that to you. And I told his mom and dad the first surgery, second surgery, third, I can't remember how many he's had, that he's still going to have a scholarship at North Carolina because he joined my family at one point and he'll always be there. So that was never even a question, never even a question. And again, I've said that, you know, he had no idea what he could do, but think in terms of that. If you guys were to stop your job for 1,000 days, when you come back, you would suck. You wouldn't know what a computer was or what email was, and think how much things are going to change. I'm serious. Think how much things are going to change in 1,000 days. You take 1,000 days off and you tell me you're going to be good? Anybody else?
Any final questions? All right.
Thanks,
Thanks so
guys.
much, Coach.
Happy holidays to
Congratulations.
everybody.